She carelessly pushed Lucky to the floor and tried to challenge me, but I was strong enough to beat her up. I rushed out of the bathroom and returned to our bedroom, grabbed a fake pistol which Lucky had gotten about a year ago, and went back to the bedroom. With the gun, I threatened to shoot her if she tried to leave.
Don't be stupid, Brittany. We both know it's a fake gun.
Oh, you fool. I exchanged it a week ago. I was planning to get you crippled with it anyway. I guess the universe did it for me. Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm telling this story from my huge office in the successful company I formed after divorcing my husband. I and Lucky got married 3 years ago. I did see the red light before marrying him, but I thought he was going to change. We dated for a year before he finally proposed. 2 months into our relationship, I caught him in bed with his ex on a day I visited him unexpectedly. I yelled his name in shock as I walked in. Before he could wear his clothes, I bolted out of the house, boiling in anger. When I got to my apartment, I vowed to never speak to him again. Being a very loyal woman, I felt insulted to deal with a cheating partner. However, later that night, I suddenly heard my doorbell ring. I knew it was Lucky. I was determined to not open the door, but the bell kept ringing, making it impossible for me to sleep. I finally gave in and went to open the door. What do you want?
Brittany, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. She seduced me. You know I would never do that to you intentionally. I'm sorry, honey.
Wow. You're hilarious, Lucky. You must think I'm a fool who'd forgive you for cheating on her with your ex. You think I'm a fool, right?
Of course not, baby. I would never think of you that way. I'm just so sorry. I already blocked her everywhere. I told her I never want to see her again. Believe me, honey, this will never repeat itself.
Honestly, I did believe the sorry expression he had on was genuine. I, who'd vowed to not forgive him, found myself contemplating whether to forgive him right there or let him suffer a few more days. However, after a kiss from him, I found myself stupidly melting in his hands and forgiving him. Until we got married, I didn't catch him cheating again, nor did I have any suspicions. However, 2 years into our marriage, I noticed the calls he always received every night. At first, I didn't make any sense out of it. Whenever the call came in, he would excuse himself. I thought it was just work, and he didn't want any disturbance. But when it persisted for 3 weeks straight, I knew it wasn't just work. One of those nights, I followed him and realized he always went to receive the call in the guest room. From the little I could make out of it, he was talking to a woman, his mistress. I heard him regard her with pet names, and before ending the call, he even told her he loved her. I was angered. I remained beside the door, waiting for him to come out. What were you doing there?
What are you talking about? I was practicing.
I was shocked at the stupid lie he told. I'm not stupid, Lucky. What practice? I literally heard you telling her you love her, you bastard. How could you do this to me? Huh?
God, Brittany, I was practicing with Daniel. We have a new ad to make at work tomorrow. The 2 female workers are shy to be the speakers, so Daniel and I volunteered.
I thought he was being foolish until he showed the caller ID of the last person he spoke to. It was truly Daniel.
They're going to use a voice changer. We were just doing our last practice. Why are you being this way, Brittany? Why don't you trust me? I told you the last time that I will never repeat that mistake. Why can't you trust me?
He got me good. That asshole. I believed him and even apologized for distrusting him. He had the guts to give me the silent treatment for 3 whole days. Anyway, a month later was when I discovered that he lied about it. Yeah, you guessed right. He saved her name with Daniel. I had no strength to confront him, so I let it slide. He became even more secretive afterward. He changed his phone's password and ensured to always take it with him everywhere. The day I discovered he changed his password was the day he went to have his bath without it. Barely 5 minutes later, my husband ran out of the bathroom, lather all over his body, and came to take his phone. By our 3rd year, I was already tired of putting up with his cheating nature and was looking for the perfect reason to leave him. However, time stretched and the reason never came. I'd given up and was about to just go ahead and proceed to divorcing him for no reason when one finally found me. I'd been away for 3 days. As some important work came up outside of our city, and I had to be there. However, since I finished earlier than expected, I immediately packed my bags. I was having second thoughts about divorcing him, so I reasoned that it would be better to talk about his behavior with him, and if he doesn't change, I'd proceed with the divorce. I got his favorite fruits and snacks on my way back to lighten up his mood. However, the scene I met at home shattered my heart. I heard cries of pain as I walked into the house and panicked. Quickly, I rushed to our bedroom where the noise seemed to be coming from. There were female clothes on the floor, but I didn't care at the moment. I rushed to the bathroom to meet my husband lying on the floor, naked and writhing in pain, with a lady standing beside him. Apparently, while I was away, Lucky had brought his mistress home. They'd planned to be together throughout the whole week I was supposed to be away, and hadn't expected me to return so quickly. They were having a bath together, and Lucky accidentally slipped and landed on the floor, hurting his back so much that he was unable to stand up.
Are you just gonna stand there or come help me get this off him?
She probably thought I was his sister, hence her tone. I ignored it and moved closer to them. Together, we got him up from the floor. She tried to leave, but I stopped her by dumping Lucky on her. If you dare to drop him, I'm gonna kill you right here.
Who the hell are you?
That's my wife.
Well, you're his wife doesn't mean you can order me around. I'm leaving now and there's nothing you can do about it. But Lucky, you told me she won't be back this early.
I moved closer to her and landed a resounding slap across her face. She carelessly pushed Lucky to the floor and tried to challenge me, but I was strong enough to beat her up. I rushed out of the bathroom and returned to our bedroom, grabbed a fake pistol which Lucky had gotten about a year ago, and went back to the bedroom. With the gun, I threatened to shoot her if she tried to leave.
Don't be stupid, Brittany. We both know it's a fake gun.
Oh, you fool. I exchanged it a week ago. I was planning to get you crippled with it anyway. I guess the universe did it for me. Of course, that was a lie. I didn't exchange it, but I had to look dangerous. I told him I knew about every single time he cheated on me and that I was tired of being with him. I lied that I'd planned to shoot him, hide the gun, and lie to everyone that we were attacked by robbers. Of course, he believed it, and they both began to plead with me to not fire. I ordered his mistress to carry him to the car. I drove us all to the hospital where Lucky was immediately attended to. He spent a week at the hospital, and I ensured his mistress never left my side throughout. Eventually, he was discharged but had to be confined to a wheelchair. I was the happiest. Once we returned home, I locked the door with new keys and hid them. His mistress became my slave. She cooked, cleaned, and took care of Lucky while I watched them. I knew it was the right time to get a divorce. I didn't get any evidence of him cheating, so I needed to find another way to get my compensation while processing our divorce documents. My first blow was getting him to transfer ownership of his second mansion to me. The doctors had said he would be on the wheelchair for a year, and that was more than enough time for me. I got him to call his lawyer and recorded him willingly accepting to give me the house as a gift for being his wife for 3 years. After that, I asked for $500,000. At first, he refused, but when I threatened to push him and make him fall from the top of the stairs, which would render him crippled forever, he agreed. Before requesting the money, I'd checked the total amount in his bank. It was over $800,000. He called his bank and requested for the transfer. It was made in less than 2 hours. With $500,000 sitting in my bank, a mansion, and his most expensive car, I finalized the divorce. I wanted to punish his mistress too. On the day the lawyer asked me to come get the document, I took her and my husband's phones with me, locking him inside the house alone. I took her to a boutique. I made her go in first before I did. I pretended to be shopping beside her while threatening to make her crippled like my husband if she didn't steal some clothes. She had no choice but to do as I asked. Afterward, pretending she was a stranger, I alerted the attendant. My husband's mistress was searched and the clothes were found in her bag. They were very expensive, so the manager refused to let it slide. He immediately called the cops, and she was taken away. I headed to my lawyers, got the documents, and returned home. I forced Lucky into signing them before I left. I already set plans to relocate to a faraway country. However, before I left, I ensured that the news about him cheating on me countless times and trying to get me to forgive him with money and properties spread throughout his office and family. He denied it countless times, but there was no evidence that I was lying. The money and how he gave me was enough evidence to prove that my story was true. I also got info that his mistress had been given a 6-month jail term. With a satisfied heart, I left the country to start a fresh life. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below saying I subscribed, and we will try our best to reply to your comment.